the release of his 2005 debut studio album Trap House, Radric Delantic Davis,
Who the hell is that?
better known as Gucci Mane, has been one of hip-hop's most influential artists. But away from the music scene, he served time behind bars and battled substance abuse issues. After meeting entrepreneur Keyshia Ka'oir, his entire life changed. When it comes to celebrity couples, few have built such a polished, icy image quite like them. They're always dripping in diamonds, posing in their mega mansion, riding around in Rolls-Royces, and posting anniversary tributes that could double as luxury brand ads. But beneath the pristine facade, their marriage is riddled with strange contradictions, and fans can't help but realize that their fairy tale feels more like a carefully engineered narrative, part romance, part brand partnership, and part psychological chess match. But before we dive deep into someone else's business, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of applewood smoked bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, and butter toffee peanuts. To give you some better insight into this nightmare, this love story, we have to take you back to 2008, when Gucci got locked up on a probation violation. As his 2010 release date approached, he was gearing up to re-enter the music scene and film several new videos. While behind bars, he read an issue of XXL, and the magazine's Eye Candy of the Year caught his attention. He recognized the woman from her appearance in Timbaland and Drake's Say Something music video, and he thought she would be the perfect video vixen for his upcoming video shoot for the song 911 Emergency. He called his manager and told her to do whatever it took to find the woman. The woman was Keyshia, of course, and Gucci's manager was able to locate her. The manager told Keyshia that Gucci really wanted her to appear in his music video, but Keyshia was initially turned off. She told the New York Post she didn't want to be around rappers at that point. But when the manager kept calling her over and over again, she finally agreed. Once Gucci was released from behind bars, Keyshia got flued out from Miami to Atlanta a day before she was scheduled to appear on set. Gucci was busy filming his other videos, but when he found out Keyshia was in town, he told his manager to bring her on set. In his autobiography, the rapper said that magazine photos didn't do Keyshia any justice. He thought she was gorgeous. He asked her to stick around until after he finished filming, but she turned him down and said she'd see him the next day for her scheduled appearance in the 911 Emergency video. Gucci wrote in his book that Keyshia turning him down made him want her even more.
It always does, don't it?
She showed up the next day, and after they wrapped up, he practically begged her to stay in Atlanta an extra night so he could take her to dinner.
Oh, begging ass.
She agreed, and they lived happily ever after. Just kidding. There was one major issue. They had completely different lifestyles. At the time, she was a mother of 3 and wasn't much of a partier at all. Gucci, on the other hand, was living the
rock star lifestyle, might don't make it.
He wanted to impress Keyshia, so he lied about his vices. He said right up in her face and told her he was done drinking lean.
A damn lie.
Either way, they were feeling each other. She joined him on the road, and she told Page 6 that was where things got even more serious. One night, she put Gucci in the shower and bathed him. She said that taking care of her man was something she learned while living in a traditional Jamaican household, so it was no big deal to her. However, for Gucci, it meant the world. He looked at her and said,
"Wow, no one has ever bathed me before."
After the tour, Keyshia remained focused on her cosmetics empire and fitness apparel, while Gucci's mental health began to deteriorate. He had a string of physical altercations and a 2013 Twitter rant where he insulted close friends, enemies, and Keyshia. He also bragged about the various women he had hooked up with in the industry. He got locked up again after cops found a weapon and a bag of substances on him while he was having a mental health episode. Most women would have run.
Me, I'm most women.
But Keyshia decided to stand by her man. She wasn't able to bond him out because all of his collect calls had caused her phone bill to skyrocket. So he remained locked up until his August 2014 trial, where he took a plea deal and was sentenced to 39 months behind bars. The following month, he caught another conviction for a 2013 incident where he hit a fan over the head with a vodka bottle at a party. That resulted in an additional 3 years behind bars, which ran concurrently with his 39-month sentence.
Now, why he gonna waste the vodka like that? That's what I want to know. Doggone it. You know how many lemon drops that would have made?
Keyshia remained in their Atlanta home while Gucci was shipped off to a federal facility. While he was gone, he reportedly gave her $2 million to invest in her businesses, and she took the money, flipped it, and turned it into $6 million. She wasn't just busy running an empire, though. She was busy running his entire life. She told the Fader website that they constantly emailed each other, and they talked on the phone at least 5 to 6 times a day.
That's why her phone bill's so damn high.
She also put him on a schedule. They would work out, shower, and eat lunch at the same time. Then Gucci would call her to discuss what he had eaten to confirm that he was sticking to their new healthy lifestyle.
So he was in prison inside of another prison. Okay, got it.
He also made an effort to finally get sober. According to his autobiography, he went through a painful withdrawal from lean and was able to lose 25 pounds in 2 weeks. He was committed to looking better and feeling better, and he wanted Keyshia to see a brand new Gucci when he was finally released. He also vowed never to get locked up again. He was released but was ordered to home confinement in 2016. In order to keep him from slipping back into bad habits, Keyshia told the Fader that their entire day was scheduled from beginning to end. They would wake up around 9 and handle their business calls and emails. Then they would work out and work all day before eating dinner, taking a shower, and laying down for the night. Keyshia said Gucci's days of staying in the studio until 6 or 7 in the morning were long gone because the studio was full of people smoking and drinking. To some, this might sound too restrictive, especially for a grown man, but for Gucci, it was exactly what he needed. Growing up in poverty in Bessemer, Alabama, before moving to Atlanta, his childhood was marked by instability. The streets became his classroom, and destruction was the only thing that was constant. By the time fame found him, he'd already learned to live on the edge, trusting no one and numbing the pain however he could. So when Keyshia and her structure finally entered his life, it probably soothed something deep inside him that had been unsettled since childhood. It gave him a sense of safety and stability that he had never really known, the kind that quiets the noise instead of adding to it. And now we have to address the elephant in the room. Keyshia and Gucci's relationship has all the elements of a trauma bond. As we mentioned, Gucci came from a childhood of instability, and Keyshia's nurturing nature likely triggered his longing for control and safety. For her, being the anchor in his storm may have validated her worth. When someone helps you climb out of rock bottom, it can blur love with obligation. Keyshia wasn't just his partner, she became his proof that redemption was possible. And Gucci wasn't just her husband, he was the project that justified her endurance. While they've clearly evolved, the foundation of their relationship still feels rooted in a mix of pain, pride, and proof that love can fix whatever therapy never touched. In November 2016, he proposed to her following a halftime performance at an Atlanta Hawks game, and they became husband and wife in October 2017 during a $1.7 million televised wedding called The Main Event. Viewers described the ceremony as a tacky, hot, stinking mess. Oh wait, that was us.
Bestie, you messy as You said it was a hot, stinking mess. That's how you say it, by the way.
What really ticked people off was that while Gucci and Keyshia were flashing their riches, Gucci was refusing to pay his baby mama, Sheena Evans, more child support for their son, Keithion, who was born in 2007. According to the Blast website, Sheena was only receiving $2,076 per month in child support. After a long and lengthy court battle, Gucci agreed to pay her $10,000 per month in support. Sheena wasn't the only woman who was sick of Gucci's ass. One of his exes told Tasha K that she was the one who held Gucci down, not Keyshia.
Uh-oh, where my my popcorn and my margarita.
And I was speaking up about the Keyshia situation and how she's credited for being his ride or die. I'm the real ride or die. I was the one in the trap houses. I was the one that had the work and the guns and all of that stuff back in the day.
And then Gucci really caught some backlash after sharing a celebration post for Keyshia.
Now, how can a celebration post go wrong? That's what I want to know. Ain't it supposed to be happy times?
The post featured an image of them from their 2017 wedding, along with a caption that read, "Everyone want this, but what y'all forget was she was with Wild Gucci, Cheating Gucci, In Jail Gucci, Publicity with Other Women Gucci. This is Gucci after therapy/rehabilitation. This is a street man groomed in his 30s after he's been at his lowest point. Point is, this is a rider who knew what she signed up for. You is with the next after couples fight."
Couples fight? The talking about? I'm confused. You're gonna have to break it down for me, RRG.
On the surface, his post looked like a love letter.
Is that what you call it?
But underneath it, the message was laced with manipulation, misplaced credit, and a toxic narrative that frames love as endurance, not mutual respect. It pretty much tells women that if they want the fairy tale, they better suffer first. It romanticizes struggle and glorifies a woman's pain as proof of her loyalty, instead of questioning why a woman had to endure that much tomfoolery in the first place.
Amen. Ha! Amen.
Psychologically, this kind of rhetoric appeals to people who've been conditioned to see love as something you earn through sticking through the bad times. Gucci's followers, especially women, saw through it immediately because it implies that the only way to get a good man is to tolerate a bad one until he decides to change. It puts all the emotional labor, patience, and moral responsibility on the woman, while the man gets applause for finally being a decent human being. It's also deeply patronizing. The tone makes it sound like Keyshia was a rehab nurse, not a wife. Kind of like her role was to fix Gucci rather than be his equal.
Oh, kind of like a handler? Is that what you're saying?
The irony is that Gucci's message could have been powerful if he had shifted the focus. If he had said, "I was wild, I was wrong, and I became a better man because my wife deserved that," it would have hit different. But instead, he made it sound like she deserved the pain because it paid off in the end. Either way, their relationship continued to flourish. Their son, Ice Davis, was born in December 2020.
Whose goddamn white baby is that?
This is your baby, okay? He's just light-skinned.
A year later, all broke loose. During a Twitch live stream, DJ Academics reignited an old rumor that Keyshia was banging Yo Gotti during the time Gucci was locked up. The alleged affair was reportedly the reason for Gucci and Gotti's feud. This isn't the only rumor involving Keyshia. Rick Ross's baby mama, Tia Kemp, also accused Keyshia of bouncing on Rick's sausage rocket during the time Gucci was incarcerated. Keyshia actually denied that rumor, though. Their daughter, Iceland Davis, was born in February 2023.
Ice in Iceland. Okay, interesting. For her to be such a smart businesswoman, damn, she can't name kids worth a damn, I tell you that.
While Keyshia and Gucci dote on their children and give them the world, fans can't help but wonder why their other children from previous relationships don't receive the same treatment. In his song called Married with Millions, he raps, "Main priority right now is just Ice and Iceland. I do it for the fam. I cut off all the leeches."
Okay, so he don't do it for them other kids? He calling his other kids leeches? Is that what you saying? Got it.
And that brings us to 2025. During a joint interview with The Breakfast Club, Gucci revealed he has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. She explained how she's able to keep his episodes away from the public eye by removing his social media apps from his phone. She added, "I delete Instagram. I delete everything. Even if I got to change his password, I'm changing it because I don't need the public to know he's having an episode." And she's able to recognize when he's going to have an episode when he goes quiet and starts sending text messages punctuated after every word. What Keyshia is doing may be rooted in genuine concern, but it also places her in a role that looks more like a handler than a partner. She has become the gatekeeper between Gucci and the public, protecting his image while also monitoring his mental state. This suggests that his condition requires constant environmental control, which is emotionally exhausting for both of them. From a psychological standpoint, this dynamic feeds into their long-established pattern. Gucci's need for stability mirrors the turmoil of his early life, while Keyshia's need to nurture gives her a sense of purpose and power. Relationships built on crisis often become self-reinforcing. The caretaker feels needed, and the person being managed feels dependent. The deeper issue is that Gucci's public image and mental well-being are being balanced on Keyshia's shoulders. That level of control is unsustainable. Love can coexist with compassion, but it cannot thrive in constant supervision. It raises uncomfortable questions. Is Gucci truly healed, or is he being maintained? And if she ever stopped managing him, would his life unravel again? What she is doing may protect him, but it might also be preventing him from ever learning how to protect himself.